Good evening, anyone and everyone. This is Champ Megahorse here for the Norwegian Cup. What a round it promises to be today. The Norwegian Cup, fourth round. You can see here on our screens we have got the draw right in front of you. Atletico Almwell versus Kongsvinger. Kongsvinger, who in the last round, take a little look at them, they were beaten in their league game, of course, 1-0 by Haugesund, but in their last cup match, way back in quite a few games ago, they had a draw against Awful, and they beat them on penalties. So look at the outcome there. A 5-3 victory for Kongsvinger. The winning penalty scored by Jørn Karlsrud, the 36-year-old, who's only scored one goal otherwise this season. Good evening, Andrew Richards. You can crack open your Saint-Etienne now and enjoy. So let's have a look at these other games. We've got the Badgers, who are up against Tallness, and Tallness in their last game, they see they're a non-league side. They beat Bjørsen 3-1, and it was 2 goals from Morten Romsdalen, who is on a bit of form this season. He's really good. He's one of the top scorers in the cup, if not the top scorer. 3 games, 6 goals. It's pretty superb, isn't it? And the other goal was from Torgeir Rudfeldt, who, looks pretty handy for a non-league player. And it's his only goal of the season so far. They had Ars playing for them, so it'll be nice to see if Ars will be in the team. And of course, the amazing Bjørn Heidenstrom, who we know about from the days of Championship Manager 97-98. He is really still looking quality, isn't he? 7.7 average rating from his 10 games this season, and it'd be interesting to see how he can do. But of course, we don't want him to do well because he's up against the Badgers. Iron Curtain CCCP versus Hools in a massive game of Division 1. Even though it says Premier League, of course, ignore that. It's Division 1. Mr. Tato, good evening. Mon the Badgers, indeed. Mr. Richards, I do hope that next season we will see the Saint-Etienne Stadium or something like that. It's got to be done either, unless you're going to change your Wanderers of Wolverhampton name to something more beer friendly, maybe. Who knows? We've got Ewan Rovers versus Ålesund, and Ålesund in their last game, they had a 2-1 league win over Vålerenga, which is a great result, and they love Ham so much that they beat them 3-0. Frode Fagermo, man of the match with a 10 out of 10. Superb. I assume he got some assists in that game. Yeah, 2 assists. Pretty much tore the Love Ham team apart. Great play from him. Goal scorer wise, of course, we can have a quick check on here. Hans-Jørgen Andersen, who, not having the best season, but not a bad season. Paulo dos Santos, who scored just 1 goal more. And Cape Verdean, not international, and Geir Sandnes. Looking pretty handy for the Ålesund team, who sit 5th place in the division below. Then, who else do we see in today's games? We've got Racers versus Fortuna, a massive match there involving 2 Division 1 sides. Then Trafford versus almost their namesakes, Traff. Kittel Rekdal, no, it's not, of course. It's Knut Erik Rekdal, and not Kjetil Rekdal. They do have the 2 Robergs, of course, Kai Roberg and Kai Roberg playing for them. So it'll be interesting to see whether those players will make an impact. Their last match was against Floro, and they beat them 2-1. Goals from Kai Roberg, and man of the match, Kai Roberg, and Odd Harold Skonhoft with the other goal. He's on loan from Mandal Skamaratea, whatever you want to call him. It's superb. Great to see some quality in this league. And of course, at the bottom there, Wanderers of Wolverhampton FC and Falaraki 99ers. That's enough time killed to see if anyone's coming to join. Let's get started on the games, and we begin with Ewan Rovers versus Ålesund. And Ewan Rovers in their last game had a 2-2 draw with Imaginary Madrid. a team who are starting to come a little bit better. In Ewan's last cup game, they had a 1-0 sneaked a 1-0 win over Further with Matthew Blinkhorn as man of the match. Today, you can see that Blinkhorn has been made captain for the first time this season. A big responsibility, but he scored plenty of goals, 3 and 3 in the cup, 9 in total. 16-year-old with a big future in front of him. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on if he's 15 again next season. And calling a fix and never first on the programme. You don't want to be first on the programme. You want to save the anticipation or enjoy the anticipation. You can see here in the team today we've got Chris McCready. Now, I've got a feeling Chris McCready was on Sky Sports News, named on Sky Sports News for some reason yesterday. I can't remember what he was doing, but I'm sure his name came up on Sky Sports News while I was watching that last night for some reason. Then, who else is brought in? Of course, we see Carl Laurie in the team today as part of the defensive midfield this time. A great midfield three there. Critchley, Flitcroft, Milligan. Flitcroft, who lasted 2 minutes in one game. And notice Kim Shellstrom's the strike partner for Blinkhorn this time round. Only 1 goal this season in the league, none in the cup, but it's about time he got a bit of a chance. He played well in the cup last time, but he's been horrendous this season. Has been dropped from the first team. This is a chance to give him some confidence. Adam Mullavankole playing in goal. We will see a couple of players getting on later on, all being well for Ewan Rovers. And we're going to kick off. I'm just making sure I've got what I need in front of me. So, Mr. Shaw taking his side at home to Ålesund, and we'll watch it from the viewpoint, of course, of just the Ewan guys. Very little going on so far as they get going, and it's a chance for Ålesund, and Dos Santos has put one just wide. But then Milligan has made it 1-0 to Ewan Rovers. It's a bit of relief for Mr. Shaw. But nothing going on since the goal. It's gone very, very quiet. There's been a bit of passing. Another chance there. Shellstrom's had a goal. But nothing to come of it. We see maybe another chance before half time. It's coming forward for Ålesund again. Oh, there's been a chance. Nothing coming of it. And then Shellstrom, I think, to put one over. Good evening, Rob. Good to see you joining us this evening. It's 1-0 to Ewan Rovers so far in this first match of the day. And looking at the team so far, they have been under a little bit of pressure, only having that one chance on target, and it has gone in. Milligan with his first goal for the club. And apart from that, I'm pretty sure Shellstrom missed the 2 chances. Plenty of possession for Ewan. Looking at the goal, so some good work. I mean, Hill to Flitcroft, headed it on. Critchley's got it, and Critchley's put the cross in. And Milligan with a half, Mark Hughes into the goal. Brilliant. Then nothing happened for 23 minutes. It was a very, very dull first half, it's got to be said. We had 1 miss from Shellstrom and 1 from John O'Kane. Okay, didn't quite realise that John O'Kane had a chance. We will be seeing Kimmins and Salt potentially during this game. Taking a look at things, if Flitcroft is injured, we might get Salt a little bit earlier. Yeah, he's got an injury. He's taken a bit of a knockdown. But we do have someone else at 82. And that's more pressing, isn't it? If Critchley was to go down injured, we'd be in trouble with, we'd be in trouble. Ewan Rovers would be in trouble in their next game. So we will get Salt on the pitch. We'll leave Milligan where he is for 15 minutes and then potentially to move Shellstrom back and take Milligan off the pitch into this second half. And there's been another chance for Ewan. They look a bit more lively to start the half, and there's Shellstrom with his goal. It is 2-0. And finally they can really see a bit of daylight between themselves and the opposition. Another chance there. Oh, Shellstrom it was with 1. And we come into the substitutes, which just keep missing. I mean, we've made it a few minutes ago, nothing going on. There we go. So, let's take a little look and see where we are up to. So we can see that there's a couple of players who are taking a bit of a physical beating. David Flitcroft, he was injured. It's worth taking him off. So we will get Kimmins on, and I think, well, Milligan, he's not played much this season. He will be left on. He isn't actually injured, so he will just be left on. And with Shellstrom playing in the middle, that should be okay. And yeah, I mean, rather than taking him off and risking an injury to a goalkeeper, it's definitely best to keep him on that pitch. So, will Jed Kimmins make the impacts that we all want him to do? Oh, it's another goal, and this time round it is Kimmins straight away. What a substitution that was. He's looking lively. Can they make it 4 before the end? This is a good comprehensive win. I know it's only a team in the division below, but any win is a confidence boost in the quarter-final place. We have just heard a wonderful little sound at this point, and it's time to welcome our co-commentator for today, Mr. Quinton Fortune. Mr. Quinton Fortune. Good evening, Quinton. He'll be just joining us any second. Mr. Quinton, hello.
Hello, Mr. Megahorse.
We're just here at the end of the Ewan Rovers game, the first match of the day. Can you see that on your screen?
I can, yeah. I've just caught the last half hour or so. It's a good second half performance.
Very, very solid indeed. Yeah, the first half was probably one of the most boring games that we would have seen, so you didn't miss anything there. Orlison didn't have a shot in the second half, and Ewan had 9 of their 12 and 6 of their shots on target in this time there. Jed Kimmins was a great substitute.
Yeah, he seemed to get one straight away, didn't he? When he came on, I've been impressed with Ewan in some games. They've had a mixed bag of results, but they played well in that second half when I caught them.
Yeah, and for the actual squad that it is, if you take out the 5 big stars, it's a squad that I don't know. I can't say they're overachieving, but they're certainly doing well.
I think they beat my team as well, so it's just shows they've got lots of quality, doesn't it? It's I think they comprehensively beat us as well.
And just ahead of you in the league table, I believe, at the moment. So, yeah, let's have a little look at these goals. So, Carl Laurie it is that's played in Shellstrom, who scored a header. And then the other goal was scored a bit later on, just after Kimmins had come on. So we've got Hill to Laurie, Laurie to Salt, Salt to Shellstrom, in towards Kimmins. What a lovely goal that is there. Brilliant. And stat-wise for the team, yes, Carl Laurie came to life in the second half. That was good to see that he took some control over the game from his defensive midfield position. But, yeah, Kimmins a good sub, and Shellstrom finally playing well. His first man of the match of the season.
It was a lot of headers, wasn't it? He's only got 11 for heading, but he won 8 out of 9, so he must have been doing something right. He is pretty dominant in the air at times.
Unless he was just up against someone who was stuck in the ground, potentially. Who knows? Paulo dos Santos really, after his one shot, didn't make much of an impact. I know he jumped up and down a bit during the game, but there's no one who could really do anything. And the Norwegian Jimmy victory just didn't really have quite the impact that maybe we could have hoped to. I say we couldn't have. We don't hope he did. We're glad that it's another team from the top division through to the next round. And perfect timing for you. Your team up in the second game of the day.
As if by magic.
It is as if by magic, isn't it? Let's have a little look at your team and you can just check that everything is as you wanted it to be. I'm pretty sure you said that, well, we haven't got a captain yet. I'm pretty sure you said the change for today was that Nicky Franco was coming in for Dieter Riles. Was that right?
Yeah, I brought him back in. Alex did pretty well, but Nicky Franco's stronger player back from injury, so give him a run out in the midfield. I know some people aren't a big fan of him being in midfield, but I don't think I can change, the attacking mid too. Done well, I'm giving another run out up front, see how he performs. He's done better in attacking mid
And
so
very well
far
in the
this
cup.
season. But yeah, he's been doing well, but I've not really got a striker banging in the goals as yet, so give another try up front. If you don't get a goal, then I can mix it around a little bit later.
Indeed, Kenny Lunt obviously been very impressive this season. Superb in the cup, the best player in the competition, with 8 goal contributions in 3 games. But yeah, he's doing well in the league as well.
Yeah, I think he's been robbed of a goal as well, and I think that was in the last cup game. He had a free kick deflected in that didn't count as
It was
his. So
very clearly his, yeah.
he's played well, but I mean we're up against Racers tonight. We had a 2-2 draw in the last league game, so it's not going to be an easy one. Whereas we've had non-league opposition before, so if you can pull out the performance tonight, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have a captain preference?
No, I'm not really bothered. I think it'll probably end up being Mr. Bonk, but we'll just let it go random.
Bonk instead of Cola. You see, I'm not sure who it would be. Yep, Bonk it is. There we go. And races go unchanged for today. Mr. Hopkins is quite impressed with his team at the moment compared to maybe earlier in the season. It is a stronger side than you maybe faced in the early days.
Yeah, it's a decent side, isn't it? It's Bellamy's a threat alongside Hartson up front. Midfield three are pretty solid, and Fowler in behind them sweeps a lot of stuff up. Just hoping I can get some attack at their defence because Coleman's back in there. He makes it stronger, but it's not the strongest defence we've seen in the league, but they're pretty good going forward. So 2-2 draw in the last league match is probably about the level we're both at.
You just highlighted the impact of Darren Barnard in the last cup game there, but his stamina has now increased to 4. Are you worried by that?
I am, yeah. I mean, if he got a 9 with his 3 stamina before, then I mean that just strikes out for a 10, doesn't it? And 2 goals and 2 man of the matches this game, I think he'll have.
It's well, he's certainly on for it, isn't he? Well, let's find out in this game with Terje Pettersson refereeing the game from the Dick Dastardly Arena, and you're up there in your wonderful. Is that grey? A very light grey going on with your kit
It's a
now?
very light grey, yeah. I think it's Dortmund's. I don't know if it's their away kit or the third kit. I've just replicated that one because it's not often it's used, and it's nice to see another team in yellow.
Very much so. Yes. Let's get on. And immediately it's all very grey, but then going back to yellow again. Not much. I don't think there's a shot particularly from there. They've got done well. There he is with his 5th goal of the season, scoring and putting the lead Fortuna's way.
Yeah, we've had a good start so far, but there you
John
go. There's one
Hartson's
back.
equaliser. Yep, spoke too soon. But then down here, done well with another chance, and May's done well for his 2nd goal of the game. What an impact he's having today.
I'm not saying anything this time, just in case they score again.
Done well is a G. Huh? At least we know his shoe width. That's good news. And we're going half an hour into this match. Another chance for Simon Davies, I think it was this time, and David Day makes a save.
Yeah, there's one cleared off the line there as well, so it's not over yet. This one.
Certainly not. It's pretty end to end at the moment, and if one of the teams can get a goal before half time, we could have. No, there's not. I was going to say we could really have something to define our second half, but I mean it's very tight at the moment. Except
Yeah,
look at those shots.
yeah, we've done well attacking. I think the change to the formation in recent weeks, just shoring it up a little bit and only putting the one up front seems to have made us more attacking. But rightly said in the chat there, Dunwell is a G. He's got his 2 goals. He's playing really well, and the main man Lenny in midfield's also got a 9 as well. So he's playing well as well.
He certainly is playing well at the moment. Let's just take a little look at the action areas going on there. We've got the racers just edging the possession, but everything else, that's as even as you can get, really. Looking into the goals, we've got Bonk playing it in well. Saeed to Collins, Collins to Bonk, and Bonk to Dunwell. I mean, if this pass had worked, it would have been involving 6 or 7 players, really. But then a good big smash into the goal for him. But then John Hartson has taken on Kohler 2 or 3 times, and then Kenny Lunton put it in. That sounds like a good goal there.
Yeah, Hartson's he's played quite well in recent weeks. He didn't score too many at the start of the season, but
His start was awful, yeah.
he seems to be getting a lot better. Yeah.
And then for the 3rd goal, the one that's put you back in front, a Kenny Lunt corner and another assist, another goal contribution for him. It's going pretty well for him. Simon Davies, it was with the assist, of course. And I mean, the racers, there's nothing really of note there, apart from maybe Chris Coleman's defensive performance?
Yeah, he's playing pretty well. Hartson's doing well up front. Jones decent in goal, but I suppose the only person letting him down really is Giggs, isn't it? With these, he's tried 2 tackles, 2 headers, but not won anything. He's had a shot off target too. If he starts playing, then we could be in trouble in the second half.
Yeah, I'm not massively convinced of his abilities as a central player, but his gigs he can come good sometimes, and other times he might put injunctions out. So we've got well, looking at the shoot, I mean, Nicky Franco's been quiet, but in that central midfield role, maybe we'd expect that a little bit more. Lunt being very dangerous as usual, but done well. Yeah, solid performance.
Yeah, he's living up to his name, isn't he? In that first half, he's playing well, and I say I've had him in the attacking midfield in recent weeks, but he's played up front these last 2 games, and he's starting to repay it a little bit.
And I assume from your performance there that you're happy to go into the second half.
Yeah, I think so. I think Jurgen's got to be careful on his yellow card in the 6. So I'll look to change it at 60 minutes just to see. And we're having commentary like Dunwell's a myth down the bottom there, and I mean the myth's proven himself, isn't he, this time?
The myth that's become a legend. So we'll see in the second half whether we'll get anything else to come from Dunwell. It's Jurgen Kohler instead, 3-1, and Kenny Lunt, I'm pretty sure his corner has caused some problems again.
Yeah, I think Dunwell had one parried away, and you wouldn't expect Jurgen Kohler to be up there.
No, he's just proving that he's still got it. Dunwell's had another chance to score, and we will go into the substitutes. We will follow the instruction of Wacky Racers from before of bringing on Jones for Davies, unless there's any other catastrophes there isn't. So Jones for Davies, and I believe that's their only sub because unless there's anyone performing badly, Giggs won't come off because I don't think you can improve the team by taking Giggs off.
No, Barnard's lowest percentage at 83, but that's not expected.
It's not bad for him,
Unexpected,
is
is it?
it?
With his 4 stamina, no, he's doing all right.
So we've had Andrew Richards has never had a bad Dunwell, and Tato Mourinho has never had a good Dunwell. So
I
you
normally tend to have him performing, but I thought I had him at Eindhoven once on a Dutch save, and he was great in the second division over there. But then when we got to the top division, he threw his teddy out, stopped training, and had to be sold.
well, so you've had the ugly Dunwell then at some point.
That's it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's it. All in there.
Just to me, if you take your goalkeeper out of this, you've got 87 to 89% fitness.
Yeah, it's playing within themselves, aren't they, a little bit? I think since we got that third goal, I think I'm going to take Jurgen off just
Protect.
to save him with the booking. Let's bring on Vance into. Oh, actually, no. Can I bring on Dieter Alts instead, and we'll just kill him. Change him for Saeed.
And give him the run.
Give him the run. Yeah, Saeed's not doing an awful lot this game going forward. Other than that, I can maybe rotate out Collins. I think. Let's give Estevez a shot in attacking midfield.
There's Emilio onto the pitch. And that's it, 2 subs.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
We shall see. That'll do, pig. 30 minutes left. Can the racers keep themselves in the competition? Quarter-final places at stake. And at the moment, it seems very much Fortuna's way. David Day having a good game. Again, Lunton and Dunwell switching up to 10 out of 10. Bonks hit the bar. Chris Coleman still trying to do his absolute best in defence for the team. And Giggs has gone up to an 8 at the moment, so he's definitely making more of an impact. But just 5 minutes left. Bellamy's put one over the bar. And Hartson's had a chance as well. There's been a bit of a pounding in the last few minutes. But they've held, and with 2 10s, Fortuna are through to the quarterfinals with a very, very solid performance.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that one. It was it was an odd second half really. I mean, races were all over us for that last half hour, and yet Dunwell and Natalakis seemed to improve. and Day played well. But yeah, I think it's we had the job done fairly early in the second half with that third goal. Didn't really look like it going from there. But Racers, decent team, and they were probably unlucky in the end to have only scored one goal.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at those last 5 minutes, 64% possession for the Racers. It was a bit of an onslaught there, wasn't it? Looking at the comments in the chat there, it is weird how the database is, how it plays on every PC. Very, very different. And David Day and Kenny Lunt having class seasons. So if you take a look at them, I mean, Lunt, there he is, must be pushing an 8 now overall, and done well. Now I'm looking at Dunman's to the Day with his 10. He's proven himself in the Cup and he's still doing the same in the league. David Day, that is a very good performance this season. 777 and just moved even better. Stat wise, I mean, yeah, Kohler didn't do much defensively.
No, he left it to his mate Atalakis, who'd come in for tonight instead of Marvin Andrews. He had plenty of good contributions. But yeah, it's first time I've had Kenny Lunt play for any team at all. It's first time I've had quite a lot of these players. But yeah, Kenny Lunt's impressed me actually with his contributions. He's not much to look at stats wise, but in terms of contributions, he's really starting to pull them out of the bag because he didn't really get a look in much at the start of the season.
It's definitely someone I'd look into to signing at some point, I think. Chris Coleman, dominant in the air, great winning his tackles, just on the wrong team for today. And Gary Speed, well, just up and down in the air, but not doing a lot with it.
No, he was just sort of hanging around in the air, wasn't he? He's not doing an awful lot. Giggs played really well for the last half hour or so, and he really came into it, didn't he, to get an 8. But yeah, Delaney and Coleman as well played well at the back. So I think they've got to be unfortunate to have only scored the one goal because they did batter us at the end. And I mean, I think the performances will pick up in the second half of the league season now.
And the second half of the league season, of course, started after this round of games, but not tonight. Allenwell versus Consvinger. We'd had a little look at all the teams outside the division before you joined the show. So let's just take a look at Allenwell. Their last performance was a 1-0 defeat. Yes, Rob, I am looking at your team again for their defeats, but they've had a great season so far. And looking to the last cup game, they got the win over Niebergsund, which was pretty solid. Kamuna, Hersey, and Velas with the goals, so sharing it around. And today, their team goes back to a sort of much more attacking. I would say that's 3-5-2 going on with Chris Marsh back in defence.
Yeah, it's nice to see Marsh in defence, isn't it? Just to give a run out. Little disappointed that Hers is on the bench. I'm a big fan of him. I like him playing. But Keats and Langley midfield are a classic lower league pair, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, just taking a look at Dean Keats for his season so far. This is only his 7th game, only his 4th start, and he deserves a bit of a run. Rob's already angry. He wants his team to go out and do him proud. And Richard Langley with his 6th start for today, and 2 goals, but not necessarily solid performances. So hopefully for him, this can be a big confidence boost.
He's normally out injured, isn't he, at this point? So he's probably just warming up. And tonight will be the night he can get on the score sheet.
We've got a debut here for Hector Carini as well, so that will be good to see him in the side and see what he can do. Jimmy Walker just there in case on the bench. Gary Neville as captain. Rob, I'm just checking. Did you pick a captain for this match? I will go into the game and just give me a shout if you pick someone different as captain. And I'm going to try and have a look and see if you have as well.
I mean, Neville's the obvious choice, isn't he? He's the people's choice at the moment, Gary Neville.
He's picked Bonk as captain, so I'm going to make sure I change that over to Bonk. Bonk's on his team today.
Yeah, you'll have a hard job. He's on the bench.
This is his last game. He messaged me on the other side. Messaged me through a different account. Let's have a little look at captain for today. Was Gary Neville. Yeah, Gary Neville is captain. So we will go ahead. I didn't, so Gino is fine. He was on your picture. But that's all good. And Kongsvinger has started by kicking off. So, I mean, they've taken most of the... today Kongsvinger has scored, but it's disallowed. No, it isn't disallowed. No, it's not on. Cassano gets the equaliser.
That's more like it. That was an unexpected start.
Gary Neville. What's the Gary Neville shouting about? He's put G-Nev is fine. No, don't Gary Neville. Gary Neville. See the monologue from Rob. Here we are, 25 minutes in, and they're certainly looking at being the more dominant side in these last few minutes. Carini's not had the best start so far, but there is Richard Langley to put it to 2-1. And I would say that Gary Neville's actually having quite a decent game so far. Winning no tackles and one header.
Yeah, it's all the fan chants for him, isn't it? That he's stepped up. I fancy Langley to get a goal, so it's nice to see he's stepped up and got one. And I mean, to be honest, they're not playing too badly in the team, other than perhaps Carini in goal.
Yes, not the best
Just
debut,
a
is
good start for the lower league team, wasn't it?
Oh, he wasn't live. So, fine. I mean, look at those shots. I mean, that's pretty dominant, isn't it? 77% first half possession. I don't think I've seen anything quite that high. In fact, I mean, do you know I've seen anything quite that high before?
I think the early Division 2 matches against Stackington were kind of like that, weren't they? There was a lot of opposition with not much ball.
Yeah, that's potentially the case, isn't it? So we've got the fake Radaby with a cross in towards Riverdale, and here's Riverdale in, wonderful. And
I bet his celebration was good. Just stood there and kicked his legs a lot.
kicking his legs in the air and to some little jiggy music. And then we've got here Kamuna to Neville, Neville to Zowie, Zowie back to Kamuna, into Yavin, back into Kamuna, Cassano. I mean, Kamuna has been dominant in that run. That is wonderful play from Mr. Ibrahim Samir.
They've showed the first division quality there, haven't they, against the lower league team?
Oh, totally. So Gary Neville's then done a bit of a layoff to Yavin. He's bounced away and Langley has put in the rebound. Total football indeed. Total Kamuna. Who, first half wise, 2 key passes, probably all in the same move. And yeah, not many tackles going in, but they haven't needed to. Kongsvinger, just a quick check of those. I mean, Riverdale's put in 12 tackles and won 1, which is quite the effort there. Rob, any changes at half time? I'd imagine no, unless you're thinking of taking off Carini. What would you do in this situation, Quinton?
Yeah, I don't think I'd do an awful lot at this stage till 60. I mean, obviously I'm not the boss, but I say I'd like to see maybe Hersey and maybe Ekikanga come on a little bit later to get the tiring team. But I mean they're doing well enough, aren't they?
Rob, yeah, they're certainly doing well enough at this point, and a very clear nope. So we shall kick off the second half. A big arm around Big Hector, and it's 3-1, and Yavin has got the goal, and Carini is up to a 6. And we're looking to the substitutes as they headed to make it 4. Apologies, it's 59 minutes. I should give you a refund.
That's poor, that isn't it? That is poor.
So to check the ratings very quickly, we've got a 6 for Marsh, but Marsh is class, and a 6 for Carini now. Everyone else 7s, 8s, and 9s. And into conditions, we see that
Langley's the most tired,
a
isn't he? Has he
little
got a
low.
knock?
He's not injured. Everyone else sort of okay. So Rob, take it away with your substitutes. And I'd imagine you want to bring on a player for another player.
That's a bold prediction, isn't it? But yeah, good start to the second half. I think at 3-1 now, we can probably say this is going to be all over, barring a absolutely spectacular comeback or.
Yes,
there we
this
go.
is
Here's
what
Jimmy
we were
Walker.
hoping for. There were some interesting subs planned. I do remember this being mentioned. So Jimmy Walker for Michael Ricketts, and it's Bonk for Carini. Is that right as well?
I can't remember the last goalkeeper called Jimmy scoring other than Jimmy Glass.
Yeah, and that was quite the goal there. Was that to relegate Scarborough?
He relegated Scarborough, kept Carlisle up, and then he became a taxi driver a few years
Moved
later.
Marsh into Kamuna. Is that he's had a swap or a run like that.
I think it sounds like breeding, doesn't it?
Yeah, and just push him. I'm just gonna. I'll do what you want us to do, but move Marsh into Karuna. It's a little bit cryptic. It's like a Guardian crossword clue. Swap. There we are. Swap. Swap.
Yeah, I think
Is
that's
he
what it
going to do a
means.
big
Well,
run to striker? Go on, give him a good run.
I've always wondered what it'd be like to run the keeper up.
To do, yeah, especially yeah. So we're just awaiting the permission for this, which I think we were trying to do on Saturday as well, Friday night as well. That's exactly big arrow from Marsh all the way to the front end. That is good. And are you looking like just that one change? Click OK. We're not clicking OK. We're making sure the substitutes are done as people want. I know, Mr. Richards, you're not a fan of substitutes. You like your players to be carried away in coffins and then come back for the next match.
There's every chance we fought us on the pitch, though, isn't it, of that happening?
Yes, indeed. Larison for Langley, and then Dunn, Finite, Finn, or Fan, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So, Larison for Langley. There we are. Lovely. And then go. Will we get another goal from Chris Marsh, maybe, towards the end of this game? I mean, obviously, we'd love to see Jimmy Walker getting on the score sheet, but at the moment, it's pretty much nothing happening.
We'd love a chance, wouldn't we? That'd be nice.
We would indeed. Oh, there has been a chance. And it's not for Walker, though. But this time, Marsh, I think, has had a shot, has he? Yes, he has. He's been making a great impact as he's come forward. He might still be on a 6, but he's been worth it. And there's another one for Yavin. It's 4-1. And it is a good, solid win, taking them through to the quarterfinals after the early shock.
Tell you what, Jimmy Walker's had a shot on target there as well, hasn't he? But Larison played pretty well when he came on.
Yeah.
Good performances all round, really, from the lads. Marsh didn't really do an awful lot, even with his big run on there. But 15 out of 17 shots on target. I mean, other than the first few minutes when they conceded, they've played pretty well.
They certainly have. I mean, just looking at it was worth the effort. We love a good substitute and a good mess around. Don't worry about that at all. 17 shots, 72% at the end of the game there for possession. Very, very dominant. And just to look into those other goals in the second half, we have got Keats doing some good running forward, playing it into Yavin, who scored a header.
Oh, poetry in motion, that assist, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Classic. And then into the last bit here. So Walker with a diving header that was saved. And then Yavin, I don't know whether he's connected. Walker being denied a great goal and Yavin scoring, or is it just a random Yavin scored? It looks like it's a random one because Keats has been creating chances.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? But yeah, they'll be pleased to come back that way after their traditional slow cup start by the looks of things. Isn't it? Conceded the penalty in the opening minutes last round, so hopefully they'll play my lot next time, and we'll shut up shop early on if we get an early goal.
As if being referred to, King Kong's finger is now out of the cup, and we are here. We'll skip this one till last, shall we, Mr. Richards? We leave it till the end. No, we'll play it now, of course.
They'll be out of beers by then.
Yeah. Falaraki 99ers, who in their last league game, apologies, Teto, I forgot it was against your team. In their last cup game, they beat Dallas 6-1. It was I think we started on a lot of goals and ended on a lot of goals in that cup show. Champino, this time round, going for what looks like a defensive formation, but I think he's got some attacking arrows going on.
Yeah, I mean they've got plenty of goals, haven't they? Is it something like 20 in the last 5? I think I just looked at briefly. So despite going to this that looks like a defensive formation, there just sets them a solid basis. So this will be an interesting match, this, because Wolves are a good team, and Falaraki are also good. So it's I don't know. I don't know if I can call a winner on this one.
Well, Tato loves 4 defensive midfield positions being filled there. He's a huge fan of it. We've got I think. Oh, maybe he's less impressed that his own team not playing in this game. Kevin Kyle doing his thing. How many goals are going to be Kevin Kyle? That's going to be the question. Ike Casillas playing today, getting his debut. I'm not a fan of Casillas on the game, I've got to admit.
I've not really had too much from him to be honest on this one. I had him on CM4 for a little bit, but this is probably a little bit early for. I was always Barcelona out the Spanish teams on these rather than Real Madrid.
It's not a 2-4 formation, Tato. It's a 3-4. They can't play two at the back. Wanderers of Wolverhampton in their last game beat the Flamingos, expectedly 4-1. In their last cup game, they ran past Fauska Sprint. Despite the fact they lost Hierro, they still had a goal from Fortes. Kevin Kyle at 768 goals. It's not a bad season, that one. Definitely not. For the Wanderers, they're playing their new regular formation with usual players, maybe apart for the cup. Williams and Fortes playing the more attacking roles.
Yeah, it's a bit of a. I mean, I can't look at this formation and not call it a butt plug just with the shape of it. It really penetrates the defence with Fortes up front, who got a goal and assist last time, didn't he? So I'm looking forward to him playing again. He's always value for money, isn't he?
Still got 11 stamina, so he's doing well. His pace hasn't increased, does it, to 6?
Must be the good training down there that they do at Wolves. It's and stamina because they're running to the ground, aren't they? They've got no choice but to be fit. So he's nearly 3 times as fit as Darren Barnard.
Lifting cans. You got the clan there, and yeah, definitely. This is the big game here. And it has been called. I'm not going to rename the formation. Justin Walker set as captain. Did you have any captain, Mr. Richards? I'm just going to check that on my setup here to make sure that I've got it. That you didn't have a captain, they were grade. So I assume you haven't got a captain. I'll just go into the game. Well, if you Taya Pettersson refereeing again, go for it. We shall. You couldn't call a prediction for this game, and I have no idea. But I'm going to go for 1-0 early on to Falaraki. Iron Robin gets the goal. And the Wanderers have some fighting to do now. Pellizzoli has started badly, but Duff is countering him to keep everyone at sixes, and they both reset themselves, and Pellizzoli drops some rugby games. Oof. Anyway, there's some football going on, but it was just interesting watching those ratings. Scally's taking a yellow card, and there was a bit of fisting going on, but we are now 28 minutes in, half an hour into the game, and there's been very little to show. A penalty turned down. Was that a penalty for Faraki or the Wanderers?
It would have been a penalty to Wolves. I think it looked like Casillas chopped down Fortes from the commentary. I think.
But if he goes down slowly, it's all you can really expect, I suppose. We've got almost at half time. We're going to take a look at that incident at half time and look at it through some in-depth analysis. It was roughly about this time of game. Casillas could only parry it. Fortes went for the follow-up. Casillas clipped the feet of Fortes, and Pettersson turned down the decision. It did look like a penalty.
It's controversial, isn't it? But I mean, Falaraki started well with the early goal, but it seems to have been all Wolves. I don't know what the stats look like, but in terms of commentary, I don't think Falaraki have come forward too much.
So Wolves won shots, but they are winning plenty of tackles. They're winning more headers. And Falaraki, well, the action area certainly shows down one end up, doesn't it? Despite the fact they've only had the one shot. So Fortes is going to be removed at this point. He's on 90% at the moment. He's on 90%, and you're going to be wasting him. Oh, well. He comes off.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's Huckabee, all right. He's quite low fitness. Huckabee's.
Huckabee is potentially done his thighs in, but that doesn't matter to Andrew Richards. He likes to make his players work through the pain barrier. For Falaraki, I don't think we have any substitutes for him. Let's take a quick look at their team at the moment. It's the defence. I mean, Woodgate he's a bit out of sorts, isn't he? Not doing anything.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have done an awful lot at all, does he? Really, which is probably why he's got his rating. But I mean, even going forward, that they're not being at the best. It's been one of them sort of games, hasn't it, where no one's on a great rating other than Robin's on an 8 for the early goal, and he's not really contributed an awful lot else. So yeah, it's an odd one, really.
Fortesh has sat down in the dressing room and can't get back up. You're probably right, Rob. Although, what are you doing watching that changing room? We've got Steven Gerrard, 10 tackles, none won. That is outstanding. That takes some work, definitely.
Yeah, I've not seen that before, particularly from someone like Gerard. You'd expect him to make one or two.
Yeah,
Yeah, even
just
that guy from King Kong's Finger won a tackle, didn't
he did. And I don't think there's much else to report from the first half. So we'll get into the second for 15 minutes anyway at this point.
he? Nearly goal for Robin for Wolves at the start of the second half.
It was. It's all very Robin this match, isn't it? And Robin's in the bar for Falaraki and another chance. As Saviola's had another shot there. I did try and make this up, but it wasn't clicking. We are now a couple of minutes a bit later on. Oh, Rob, that's it. He's trying to plan a breakaway league, thinking it would be something to do. Yes, I can understand. I think the fans are all up for it. So Sadachka at 84% is got a poorly foot, so we know about Huckabee. Mr. Richards, are you still sticking with your plans of death by dangerous management, or will you be continuing? Will you be making a change?
That's the question. It's something so. Here we go. Darren Anderton's coming on. Who's he coming on for? Is the question, isn't
That'll
it?
be
For
Huckabee, I
Huckabee probably
imagine.
with his injury, but
Uh,
something's got to change with it. Half an hour left of the cup campaign as it stands.
yeah. Not. I mean, this if they don't win, then it is curtain for this team, isn't it?
Yeah. At the moment, it's only half curtains, isn't it?
Yeah. With a little bit of time left. Falaraki. Let's see their substitute. So if they are winning, well, first of all, we've got if Saviola hasn't scored, then sub him for Sigalko. So that will be done. If winning at 60 minutes, stay as it is unless Saviola hasn't scored. Well, there we go.
Done.
One
Easy as that.
change. Well, 63 minutes into this game, and we are seeing more and more Falaraki chances, but then down the other end of the pitch, Yavin has come on and scored. He's got his equaliser, and this could be going into extra time as it stands. But no, Robin for Falaraki makes it 2-1. And we are now not going to extra time as it stands. But Evans had another chance. He's definitely made an impact since he came on. Sigalko not quite doing the same. He's off target with a chance for Falaraki. And just with a few minutes left, there's been a yellow card for Yavin. Was he kicking the ball away or something there?
You wouldn't expect him to be wasting time, would you, at this stage?
No, it sounded a bit strange when he got booked for. I couldn't quite work it out. And we're into injury time. And that's it. Falaraki with Arjen Robben inspired have beaten the Wanderers of Wolverhampton 2-1 with a less than inspired Arjen Robben. 4 shots, 4 on target. They gave it a bit of a shot, but Falaraki had what it took to win the match. And it certainly evened out a little bit more in the second half there. With the goals, we had Yavin, who took it away from Terry, ran forward, took on Kivu, took on Cole and put it in. That was a lovely goal there. And then for Robin, plenty of work from Owen Hargreaves, and then crossing it in for Robin to finish off. Let's just take a look at what the yellow card was there for Yavin. Yeah, he's kicked the ball away after Ashley Cole's chested it down. That's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, Dean Richards has really let Wolves down in defence. I think with a 4. That's really poor performance from him at the back. It's probably made the difference, really. But Yavin had played well when he came on, and he showed why he's one of the top scorers, didn't he? So, yeah, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed. There's only a couple of players with an 8, and that was Pellets after his poor start. But yeah, neither team's really played at their best. So, felt like he probably deserved to edge it just on the number of chances they created. But Wolves played fairly well.
Finding Richard's 1 week's wages. Well, I can take that after the game. I'll try and remember to do that one. If I don't, then just remind me before when the save goes up to action that Ryan Williams has had about as boring a performance as you can get there.
Yeah, he's not a great performance. He's not done an awful lot at all. When you compare and contrast to Robin with his 10 and 2 goals, he's been the main bit of quality on the pitch, hasn't he? Other than Owen Hargreaves and his 2 assists, getting a 9 at fullback.
Yeah, Hargreaves. Well, as a wide midfielder, I guess he was in the end, wasn't he, with the formation?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
true.
defensive mid. Yeah, he's a wing back. Yeah, of course, with the 7 at the back prevails over the 4 at the back. Fine risk 6 weeks wages. Just the 6. Is that all? Trafford versus Traff, and we see that here there's a slight change to the formation in having 2 defensive midfielders. Rick Helme playing a defensive midfield role. We've got the recall of Landro in defence, who usually puts in about a couple of thousand passes a match. We've got Nygaard in midfield, who's back in after a couple of cup matches. And then you go further forward and see Nick Matulin up front, who, he's played there, he hasn't scored yet, and Buffon up front as well.
Yeah, I'd back him to get a goal. They're decent players, aren't they? Nigma Tillin and Buffon, decent ability.
Yeah, certainly are. We'll see how this goes though with the Traff side up against them. Yeah, they should have what it takes, but 2 goalkeepers up front is always a slightly dangerous game, isn't it? And Roy and Helga Olsen refereeing this game, the partnership, not Shuttle Rekdal, but Knut Erik Rekdal playing the match, and the 2 Kai Robergs are up front. So that's, of course, the only difference between the two. Into the Trafford stats, and the second half is underway. And it's very, very quiet so far. No shots at all. Roberto Carlos has taken an early yellow card. He was sent off in a previous match, wasn't he, in the league against Flamingos?
Yeah, it didn't hinder them though, did it?
No, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, 1-0 up, and it's Totti who scored the goal. It almost seems like Zanetti makes it 2-0. I was going to say, it seems like one of those games where nothing really was entertaining, but now we're getting a couple of goals. Will we get any more? Chance for Aymar. Zanetti has gone down injured. I have not seen the Alex Smithies howler for Cardiff. That is worth watching at this point. And Javier Zanetti is going to be withdrawn. Now, at this point, I assume that what we would do is to take off Zanetti and bring on. I'm going to check Nestor and Cannavaro, who's played the least, and bring on because I know this is a cup rotation that's going on. Cannavaro's played 7 matches, and Nestor has played 9. So Cannavaro is going to come on, and Okoronkwo is going to move to right back. So we are here almost at half time. It's made no difference whatsoever, and Traff are 2-0 down to Trafford. We've just a little attempt at trying to restore Mr. Fortuna to the Zoom feed. Is having computer gremlins, which sounds nice and fun, doesn't it? We've got just checking the substitutes for Daji. So just have a little look. Any potential injury squaff at half time. That's not for Nygaard and not for Riquelme. Zanetti's already gone, and that'll be it there. And we will see in the second half whether there'll be any changes. Finding Roy Keane for 2 hours straight. I think you might have a players' revolt on your hands, and you don't want revolting players. Although someone's got Steven Gerrard. Totti has made it 3 now. Very comfortable. But Roberg has hit the frame. And Trafford now making their substitutes. Let's see about that. So looking in, if not leading, no, that's okay. Potential injuries is the next job to do here. Well, Nygaard is certainly tired, but he's not potentially injured. But we do have an instruction here of bringing on Rivaldo if possible. Well, I mean, Nygaard coming off and just shifting a few players a bit further back would be the thing to do here. So Rivaldo going further forward. If extra time comes, do whatever I want. Oh, extra time is definitely not coming in this game. So 3-0. Chance to make it 4. Rivaldo's been involved straight away during this time that he's come onto the pitch. Roberto Carlos has had a chance. And Trafford at 4-0 with Aymar having scored. It is very, very comfortable. Plenty of gold. We'll take a look at the goals at the end of this match. No, Dachi's not bringing the keeper on at that point. No, it's quite a surprise, that wasn't it? 4-0, very comfortable. 14 shots to 2. 11 shots on target to 1. 66% of the possession, very dominant all the way through. Looking into the goals, we have Riquelme on a loose ball playing in Totti. But then it was loose again, and Aymar got it through to Totti for the goal. Then we've got a Roberto Carlos cross in, and Zanetti's got ahead of one of the Kaya Robergs. Zanetti went off injured. In the second half, Cannavaro to Totti, takes it on his chest, turns, and keeps going and shoots. A lovely goal. And then the fourth one, a Riquelme corner smashed in by Aymar. Superb. 4-0. Totti, very solid performance. That's, for me, that's not something you see very often from Totti. What time is a Hammerfest, Rob? We'll see the Hammerfest result at the end. They're playing Vålerenga, is it? I think that they're playing today. Be an interesting one for them. And looking into the opposition, I mean, nothing much to say. Nothing much to say. Good performance from Pablo Aymar with a 10. CCCP versus Hulls. Massive, massive game of two top sides. And Shevchenko and Sigalko up front. We've got pretty much restored to an early season formation and setup. They are missing one of the midfielders. Nikiforenko is carrying an injury, so Titov comes in. Smertin back in that position, very solid. Their last league game was a 1-0 defeat to East Coast. Their last cup game was a 2-0 win over Skade, despite the fact that they played most of the game with just 10 men. So it looks like a decent side for the Iron Curtain, but of course we know that every time Hulls come out, they have a decent side. They did lose 3-0 in the league to Phoenix, but that was a bizarre match. A really, really strange match of football, and Phoenix are excellent and deserve their place up there at the top of the league. In the last cup game, a 3-0 win over East Coast with 2 for Ronaldo and 1 for Raul. So, formations are matched up against each other. We've got Junior called back in for Dede into this match in one of 2 lineup changes as Sergio chosen instead of Paredes. Other than that, the subs are slightly amended, but the first team remains the same. And this will be a good game. I think if Wolves were at home, I would back them to win the game. But at this point, who knows? With Frode Guldbjornsson refereeing from the Kremlin. We've got 5 minutes in and very, very little has been happening. We've got, at the moment, more chances for Ryan Curtin, but Hull's tried to come back into it. I think it's been a lot of end-to-end without too much shooting. Raoul's put one just wide for Hulls. And Ronaldinho with a chance. Sigalko going forward. It just seems to be people looking for a chance. I mean, Hulls have managed to have another shot. They are starting to come much more into this match. Half an hour in, and nobody's made the breakthrough yet. Vigo's having a disastrous match for Hulls at the moment, but you know, things can change. And there, Cafu has gone off injured, and yet again, they don't have a right back on the bench, but they do have a right midfielder on the bench in Jeremy. Now, to look at things here, he's a solid tackler, he's very strong. He will be the player to come on. So we will bring Jeremy on at right back, barring any amendments there. Nope, I'll say it looks like the best thing to do for them. 10 minutes to half time. And Mourinho's had a chance for Hulls. It does seem, I mean, Lucio's taking a kind of, I would say Hulls have edged this first half. But there's been a late spurt for CCCP. Nothing coming of it. I mean, it's pretty even. I think it's very, very much even so far. Mr. Fortuna is hoping to be back in C. Jeremy did play right back for Chelsea, I'm sure, at some points. Yes, you'd be right with that, Mr. Richards. The action areas in here, we've got Hulls with a little bit more than their opponents, which is, it's very, very even. It's got to be said. And we are hoping to get Quinton Fortuna back into the show any second. As we just take a look. Hi, Quinton. Welcome back.
Yeah, apologies. Back with you now. I managed to catch the first half. I watched it on my alternate technology whilst having connection problems.
Would you have made the sub of bringing Jeremy on?
Yeah, he played right back for Real Madrid for a little while and then filled in there for Chelsea as well. It was only when he was at Middlesbrough and Newcastle he went into midfield. So yeah, I'd definitely put him at right back in that situation.
And of course, he's one of those footballers who's played without sleeves.
Well, that's it. It's a favoured kit, isn't it, for a lot of them? But yeah, absolute classic Cameroon kit, that one.
Very much so. So for the Iron Curtain, I mean, there's been no substitutes at any point really, unless they get below 75%, as far as I am aware. And for Hulls, that we're looking at 60 minutes really. Other than that, there'll be no substitutes. So let's get this second half on the road. And the Iron Curtain come forward. There's Sigalko with a chance early on in this. It is a very even match so far. Very little to call between the two. Even though I did think Wolves would edge the first half, I'd say so far the second half is definitely going the other way.
Yeah, Iron Curtain seem to be edging it, don't they? They've had the slightly better performing players.
Yes, yeah, Figo's managed to pick himself up to a 6. But yeah, Iron Curtain, anyone below 75? I don't see anybody being in that position at the moment, so we'll just keep things as they are. And I wouldn't be too disappointed as a manager there, Mr. Lenin. Substitutes. Ronaldo for Albert at 60 if Albert hasn't scored. I mean, I'd be tempted to take Raul off at this point instead due to the injury.
Yeah, I'd have that temptation too. But how are they performing? Are they performing any good?
Raul 7 or maybe Albert coming off then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'd go
so.
with the instructions then in that case. It's he's still an 83, isn't it? So it's not like he's in immediate danger.
And they're not losing at this point, so yeah, the other thing will not happen. And of course, we've got one substitute left for them at this point. Raul is captain, I suppose. It's probably best to keep him on.
Yeah, might need to be subbed in extra time if it gets that far at this stage.
Yes, 90 minutes might be the opportunity if it's needed. But there,
Oh,
Sigalko's
good
beaten
goal.
Ruggiero and put the Iron Curtain in front. Shevchenko's had a bit of a chance as well, but 15 minutes to go. This is very much looking like the CCCP side have possibly they could be causing a shock here. Oh, and it's 2-0. Shevchenko has sewn it up. Fantastic. For them at Sigalko at 3-0. Ruggiero had a nightmare at the end of that game. And obviously, when I describe it as a shock, I mean in terms of the way that they are in the league, the performance today has shown that these two teams are pretty even.
Yeah, six of them on a 9, isn't there? It's excellent performance from the Eastern Europeans there. I mean, what a game! 6 shots on target, 3 goals. It's Hull's couple of 3-0 defeats back to back, isn't it now? But
Yeah,
yeah,
not a crisis.
really well played for that last half hour. It's they were slightly better going into that last half hour, but they just blew them away, didn't they?
A lot of nines indeed. Let's take a look at those goals, which are all occurring after they chose to make no subs. So it's a flick over Ruggiero. That sounds like a quality goal. Mostovoy into Sigalko and just flicking it over the keeper. That sounds wonderful. Then late on, 2 very late goals. Mostovoy to Shevchenko. Mostovoy's been chipping balls in a bit today. Shevchenko with a turn and a run and past Ronaldinho and banging that one in. And then later on, the final action of the game, to Tradza playing in Titov to Sigalko, and a drive into the net. I mean, that is a superb team performance there.
Yeah, all the T's with the third goal, wasn't it, with the pass and assist? But Mostovoy, I think he's top of the assists in the league, isn't he? So he's just showing why with 2 assists today.
Yes, yeah, I mean, fantastic performance. I mean, if you went by substitute instructions, I mean, at this point we'd have seen the end of Mostovoy and Karpin if it was extra time, but you wouldn't want it to take any of those players off realistically.
Well, good job they don't need to, because they played really well, didn't they? And Wolves will be disappointed. No one's really stepped up to the plate for them, but sometimes you've just got to admit that they had a better team against them on the day. So I think CCCP are in a false league position. I've thought the whole season really they should have more points than they've got with the squad they've got there. So maybe they're going to start to turn the performances in.
Mm. And have you played them twice this season now, or just the once?
I think just the once, isn't it? We've only played 1 league game against everyone.
I think maybe your division is just playing everybody once so far. There must be Division 2 where they've started to play each other despite it being in the same half of the season. Okay, this game. Now, this game, of course, is all about the opposition and Björn Heidenstrom playing in this match. That's what it's all about here, isn't it, Tato? Let's see, looking at.
I hope he's tuning in.
Oh, he's here. What, Heidenstrom?
Yeah, Edinstrom, yeah.
Oh, he'll be watching. He watches every show, I believe. Yeah, he's wanted by Verdo as well. This is quite the show here, isn't it? Apparently he's had a bit of a career at Flamingos, which is quite nice to see.
That was back in his younger days, obviously, wasn't it? And then that 4 year spell without a club. He also aged quite a few years as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we're ready to go into the match straight away. Oh no, hang on, we better take a look at this team, which is great for the league, isn't it? Great to see an attacking formation. This is what he promises. This is what he's delivering.
Yeah, I like that. It's bold, isn't it, against a non-league team in the cup? I mean, in my early rounds when I was playing non-league team, I tried to go 3 at the back, but we want this attacking with 3 up front and the diamond in midfield. So, yeah, I hope he absolutely obliterates the opposition. But Heidenstrom manages to get a 9.
Just a 9.
Not 9 goals, just because a 9 rating. But yeah, I'm going to have Badgers down for 5 goals.
And of course, they'll be looking for plenty of stuff from the 4 Davids. It's absolutely a 3 at the back, Mr. Richards. That's 1 centre back and 2 full backs. That is a 4 at the back. They may not stay three at the back. They may not stay three at the back for very long, but they are clearly fitting the bill of a three at the backside. Three up the backside. It's quite a lot.
They need the butt plug formation for that, I think.
David Priest, David Barnett, David Collins, David Cameron, and Tato Mourinho. This is going to be good. Predictions?
Sam, I'm going for 5-0.
5-0. 5. Let's see.
I think it'll be 4 at half time.
Well, straight away, Thomas came the attack and have taken it to them. But I think that was Mike Duff with the opening shot for Badgers. And he's run up the pitch, he's causing him to get into the attack quite a bit. I think he's had another chance. Unless he's played maybe he played Collins in for that one. He's having a good game, Duff, but Sullivan has made it 1-0. I don't even think I saw it flash open for a goal. Great play, anyway. 1-0. Comfortably in lead. Tato predicting a 4-2 to his own side. You're pleased to know they are 1 up. And it's a penalty. And it's a goal for Walker. 2-0 at this point. Superb. Tallness, I believe, is it 5-4 to Tallness in one of the friendlies? It's 3-0 now with Tony Sullivan. Very, very comfortable. You could be getting your 5 as a prediction for the game. You could be getting a 4 at half time. It is a 3 at half time. It's a very, very solid 3-0 at half time. Take a look at all the fitnesses and things. Everybody's 90% plus.
Yeah, good half, wasn't it? It's, look at all the 8s. 9 for Sullivan, a couple of 7s for Collins and Yavin. So if they start playing as well, then we could see at least a 5. But yeah, they've done what they had to do, haven't they? They're playing well. They're showing attacking threat, and it's just what we want to see.
An appetite for destruction here. Bjorn Heidenstrom there on a 6. He's won 2 tackles, which makes him excellent, of course.
Kurt Sem's looking pretty decent, isn't he? 7 tackles, 1 out of 7. You need to keep the ball away from him in the second half.
Didn't notice that, actually. Did not notice. 9 shots, 8 on target. No shots on target for Tallness. It makes a bit of a difference, doesn't it? Let's take a look at those goals. We've got a goal kick as a highlight of one thing there. Sullivan with a strike with fury. Of course, we did hear Tyson Fury on the show the other week. And Roy Keane would mess with him, but I wouldn't want to. And the penalty given with Kasner's yellow carded and a Walker penalty, the goalkeeper did not move. And then for Sullivan's goal, Wellens has played it into him after a Barnett played him through. Let's just check that. 7 tackles out of 7. Yeah, Kurt Sem. Yeah, he's not so bad, is he? He's like the Dave Barnett of Norway.
Decent right hand column, hasn't he? He's not doing badly there at all.
And Stian Selander, who is, to me, I don't know, more like a Tolo Mas kind of defender, I would say. If you're going to pick somebody out as an English version of. Let's get into the second half before I just keep talking about trying to compare Norwegian players to English players. We are comfortable at 3-0, and this is going towards substitution time, if necessary, with a comfortable lead. But Tallness have scored. It is 3-1, and the substitutes will be made, or will they? Tato, the floor is yours. You have got a couple of players at 86, in fact 3 of them. Barnett on 84, and the rest of them doing okay. Ratings wise, you have got this. Now, Quinton, would you be tempted to tinker with it?
Yeah, I'd take Barnett off because he's had arthritis on 3 of the last saves I've had him on, and he's had to go to a faith healer. But we're having Yavin for Manninger. This will be an interesting one, bringing on Alex Manninger.
So Yavin off for Manninger and Rusk off for Clausen. There he is.
Rusk got an assist, I think, for the first goal, didn't he? So he can be pleased with his performance today.
Oh, lovely. Just the 2, Tato, keeping 1 back for extra time. Barnett's been playing very well, hasn't he? With 4 key tackles, 11 were out of 13. He's won his only header. Very, very solid.
Yeah, he's playing well back there, and I mean they're all playing fairly well, aren't they? Tallness have I mean they're winning the second half 1-0 at the moment, so you'd hope Badgers can turn it around for this second half.
Through Manninger. Let's go. Oh, Tallness have had the early chance after the substitutions have been made. Is Tato panicking? I don't think so. Goalkeeper on for a striker. Yes, indeed. And it's 4-1. And Tony Sullivan has a hat trick. Great to see. But it's 4-2. And that was Tato's prediction. I think he's
Fixed it suddenly. That's why it's
some sauce for
done that.
Sullivan. He's got
Oh,
4. Has
great
anybody
man.
else scored 4 in a game? I think
Not in
this
this
might be
league,
a
I don't think.
record. So Tony Sullivan has wowed the fans with a 4-star performance. Which obviously not as good as a 5-star, but brilliant. Great to see. He now is on 5 games, 6 goals for the season. 6 goals, all in the cup. Could call it a 10-star performance, I guess.
You could, but that'd be stupid. But yeah, good performance from Badgers. 5-2. So really, two all in the second half is not ideal, but they've done what they had to do in the first half, haven't they? Won it. So yeah, excellent performance overall.
So Tato's saying that Sullivan has earned a striking role for next game. I suppose a striking role, just as a start, but he'd probably play him up front. And result of the night, top commentary friends. Yes, we are top commentary friends. All of these people here making those little nice polite comments at the end. And looking into the goals for the second half. What did we start at here? We started off with a goal at 59 minutes. It was the goal for Romsdalen, who's destroyed Steve Finnan before putting the ball in. And then Sullivan has just applied a finish for. Hopefully it's not. It just went over the bar and he's applied the finish. Lovely. And then Sobier with a lovely goal after the Badgers withstood the pressure but didn't. Then Manninger plays it to Walker. Walker, instead of shooting, Sullivan's there. Nice.
Yeah, he seems to be in the right place, isn't he, Sullivan? And that's how he's got his goal.
And
Great performance.
yeah, I don't know if I just have a quick check of the side there. Heidenstrom was protected for his own good at the end after getting on 7. So wonderful, wonderful to see. And teams will be after Kurt 7 next season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 10 out of 11. So yeah, he can be pleased with himself.
So the other match in the round, Hammerfest 1, Vålerenga 3. And Eric Backer's brother Morten has performed as well. Heighton got Tran, was playing in the cup today. Tran has signed Tran a few times before. Good to see him play. Palmo Car. It's a big, strong side, this Vålerenga side. That's looking into it. Eric Hagen there as well.
And his brother.
Yes, Runa as well. They're both in the side. This is a very good team, and you wouldn't want to necessarily be up against them if you were, certainly if you were away from home. Rekdal, there's Seto Rekdal. I knew he was in this cup somewhere. But more we got no cider in the house. I said, I don't know, oil or milk or vinegar, cider vinegar. So Caleb Francis, he doesn't sound particularly Norwegian, but you know, he plays for Imagine Madrid and also for Kongsvinger. Lovely.
And now it's hammer time for him, isn't it? So he's been doing well since going to them.
Indeed. The cup draw, of course, will be made at some point. We'll do the live. What was the thing here? It's finding Dean Richards a week's wages.
I think for a poor performance, isn't it, rather than for no reason. It's,
we will do this live on a Scally suspended.
and are we still also finding Frederick Risp 6 weeks' wages?
Disciplined player. Can I make it 1 week because it clicks so fast? There we are. For poor performance, 1 week each. Fine. Cheers, Swemp and Quinty. Oh, cheers, Tato. You're very kind, man.
Thanks for participating.
Dean Richards. Let's see. So he feels his fine was unfair.
I think Dean Richards has to grow up, doesn't he? And accept he was not very
enough.
good with the performance of 4.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I've enjoyed this show tonight as well. It's been good to have some quality chat going on. To have Quinton on your first live show as well.
Well, partly, yeah, in and out, wasn't I? But I was just in calls for the Super League, see if I fancied a call up for any team. I've had to turn them down though because I'm stuck to this Swemp League. I'm not going to change.
Let's see if we can get the cup draw to come straight away. There's just a quick show here. The player of the month and manager of the month. It was Ryan, Jim Royal, there as the man of the match, manager of the month for Phoenix. This season, the managers of the month have been Dimble, Jens, and Ryan so far. And into the player of the month, we'll look at it on the screen first of all for player of the month. That Neil Somerville was player of the month for the last month. I'm not sure why, but he's won it. And the previous players of the month have included Giovanni Albert and Michael Ricketts.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a 3, isn't it? It's I mean Somerville hasn't been at his best this last month, but he probably deserves it for being an excellent character throughout. So I know maybe we'll see Tony Sullivan being player of the month for July after his opening gambit.
Yeah, it's a shame it's the cup, isn't it? Because he's not going to win it for player of the month for the league, particularly. We are going to see if the cup draw comes up. It will come up at any point, and I'll just click through quickly. This is not good for Flamingos, is it? Not good for Flamingos. They are pretty much on their way out, but Alan Finette, of course, will be reinstated if necessary. Bolton Phoenix are pleased. We've got plenty of stuff going on here. Sad to see the enthusiastic support is waning, but they have just won their cup game, so they may get a few fans back. Wacky Racers were extremely unhappy, but Mr. Hopkins is certainly turning his team around, except in that match there. Good win for Fortuna. Dimble, they're pleased. They're generally satisfied at the 99ers. And for Tato, they are pleased with you. 4 goals to Tony Sullivan is a Badgers record.
That's got to be a cup record as well, hasn't it? Unless somebody's battered a non-league team for the computer.
Well, there was a player with 3 games, 6 goals. So I don't know if he got 4 in 1. I'm not sure. Substandard league performances at the Iron Curtain, but a great cup win. We didn't see the Wolverhampton one, did we? Because we were looking at the other stuff here. They're pleased. They're pleased with Andrew Richards. Should check out 2 weeks. And Trafford, generally satisfied. Ooh, that's not great, is it, for a team that's so high up the table? And I don't know if we looked at Rob's then. Do we look at Rob's?
Don't remember, to be honest.
And whereas for your news, seems to be quite far back on here. Disappointed, but ignore the calls for resignation. But a good cup win. I will just check that one for Rob here. They are pleased. I just want to get this cup draw. It's bound to come up. Imagine we're just extremely unhappy. Here we are. So, the cup draw live with Graham Simonton. No, not with Graham Simonton today.
It's with George, isn't it? Isn't tonight's with George?
Yes, okay. I'm George is here. Hello, Quinton. I'm looking forward to this draw in the cup. We might have no viewers now, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so the matches we have got Atalanta. They will play against the Badgers. We've had them both talking to each other tonight, haven't we, Jeffrey?
they're friends, aren't they? Those two. So that'll be an interesting one. Somebody's got to lose.
Yeah, but I don't want either of them to lose. I'd like them to form a super team to go through to the next round. Um, Volorenga, they will play against Trafford. And I think if Tachi went for the goalkeepers in the team today, I think they might be into a bit of trouble. CP who will play Ewan Rovers, and that's a nice match, isn't it? And so your team are still in. Can you remember who you might be playing against?
I really can't. Nope.
Well, let's have a look. It is Fortuna Deflection, and they will play against Faliraki 99ers.
That's
It's
the
a
one.
nice one. So those matches, if we have a look into the matches in the cup, is the 7th of August. It promises to be a lovely day. Taking a look into the matches, not Josh, thank you. You don't need to do any more. It's fun. Just taking a look at the schedule for coming up into the next few games. We have the 27th of July, 31st of July, 3rd of August, 7th. This becomes a Saturday, Wednesday run for a little while. So it might take a bit of pressure on those 7 sides still left in the cup. Anyway, for now, that will be a perfect place to leave that. So I'm going to just make sure that I don't need to save it under that date. I'll get it to the right place in the save next time. So thank you very much, Quinton, for your stop-start performance, but very, very good performance all the same.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for the chat, guys.
Yes, indeed, superb chat, mate. Very, very good. And of course, hopefully those people who've been watching the video have enjoyed it as well. And we'll see you again soon. And we nice, thank you, George, as well. Okay, good night.